All right, we are into housekeeping. Very grateful for our new sponsor.
Yeah,
that
good
feels
stuff.
good. Feels good. We are into housekeeping. Before we get into this week's episode, guys, we have kind of an update. Every week we've been kind of letting everyone know what causes blood clots and heart problems.
Yeah.
This week, there's some articles that came out. Napping and showering.
Cold showers.
Cold showers and napping is what's causing heart problems, strokes, and blood clots this week. We just wanted to let everyone know. Hopefully no one's taking naps or showering out there.
Yeah. And then they also said earlier, like the way you sleep, and now it's just napping. So it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something else soon. Like
they're like, we got it. Like, they're like, what can we say? What's something that everyone does that we can kind of justify?
Eating fruit.
Blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just got to New Orleans. This is our first episode from our temporary studio. Hopefully you guys don't notice too much of a difference.
I feel like I'm gigantic.
Yeah. Rap Boy looks a little big positioning wise, but that's okay. We drove up from Florida to New Orleans. I tried to do a bit on Rap Boy. I was pulling up to him and I was driving my friend's wife's car. So not the usual car I drive. And I was pulling up next to him and I was trying to get next to him and look like a crazy person. So he would look over and be like, oh, like, what's Fleckus up to? Like, how's he drive? What's he doing? And I started doing like this Mars Attacks, like, and I was like waiting for him to see me. And for like 2 minutes straight, I'm like,
Driving dead even with me.
driving dead even. He never looked over, but the people to my left looked over, and I looked over and saw them see me. And then I started dying laughing, and I was by myself, and they just thought I was a crazy person.
I think I was picking like a podcast to listen to at that time. So I was kind of like distracted.
Yeah.
So I missed them. And then we passed each other like multiple times. So
Yeah.
it was like
exactly. The road would open up, and Rap Boy's got like an old Jeep, so he can't go too fast. I had a little like Japanese car. A little Japanese car. So it was like I'm scooting around, I'm going fast, and then it's kind of like the, I don't know, simulation or something. 40 minutes later, I pulled up next to Rap Boy again in the next patch of traffic somehow,
knowing I was going like much slower than him.
Yeah, like he was going 65, and I was probably going like 85. But then somehow I came up on Rap Boy again, so that kind of drove me crazy for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When we got to New Orleans, obviously we did what any normal person does when they move into a new place.
Yep.
We rewatched Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah.
We rewatched some comfort movies, Christian Bale Batman. There was a plot hole that I would like to talk about. It's not going to be a full Batman review like with the Charles Pattinson one. This is Robert Pattinson one, which I hated. Obviously, it was too dark, couldn't see anything. This was a little bit of a different plot hole. In the beginning of the Bane Christian Bale Batman, when Bane gets given over to the CIA, he's got his head cover on.
Yeah.
They put him on the plane. Then they talk and say, oh, what's your plan? And he goes, to crash this plane. Bump, bump, bump. With no survivors.
He snaps out of his handcuffs.
And he snaps out of his handcuffs.
Well,
all it was zip ties.
Yeah.
So you'd think when they turned him over to the CIA, the guys would have been like, all right, who's this guy? Take his hood off. Oh, it's Bane. We got him. They didn't do that, I guess. They put him directly on the plane. Then he had like a dramatic moment and then snapped the zip ties, and then he beat everyone up and crashed the plane.
Yeah. No pat down, no operational security at all to get on this little tiny jet.
What are our 3-letter agencies doing? And then it's like, wouldn't you put the zip ties on the guy and be like, this guy's wrists are gigantic.
This guy's shredded.
Like,
he might be a villain.
Who is this guy I'm trying to lock up?
Yeah.
So I guess no one did that.
So probably on the 20th rewatch, we're still finding, a little bit of flaws.
We're finding holes. In the beginning, we enjoyed it and we loved it, and now we're starting to see the holes. You would have just been like, oh, this guy's gigantic. Oh, it's Bane. All right, let's really secure him. We got Bane.
That's Fleckis's comfort movies, is the Christian Bale Batmans, and then Seinfeld. That's it.
That's always an easy go-to for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Richard Ratboy, on the way up, you were listening to True Crime podcast.
Yeah.
True Crime podcast.
Yeah. I love true crime podcasts.
And you notice it went a little woke, I guess, right?
Yeah. So I kind of talked about this briefly before, but true crime podcasts are like majority consumed by women.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're always like, and nobody should have to deserve that. And indigenous women, as we know, are not investigated as hard and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I was listening to one specific one. You want me to tell a story?
Please do.
I was listening to one specific one, and it was basically like this guy who was a serial killer or killed one, but like was probably going to be a serial killer. And he basically attempted to restrain this like prostitute, this cheap $80 prostitute. And the podcast hosts are kind of like commenting on this, like, oh, so he gave her the $80 like usual. And then like are telling this whole story about this woman who's like a street rat prostitute. And then she went back to the motel where she was staying with her guy friend who she bought drugs for. And they're kind of like painting this whole picture of like this $80 whore.
As if it's just some normal girl can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
She met some guy at a truck stop for $80.
Exactly. And then the women on the podcast were like, and the police didn't believe her. And it's like, yeah, she seemed, you've just painted the picture of an $80 whore living out of a motel, constantly buying drugs. I don't know what they were supposed to do. I don't know what the police were like, send everyone, you know, like, so.
And as you know, sex work is real work.
Exactly.
It's
so it's 100% like that. And so I kind of listen and I just like to hear the facts. And then I, create my own opinion based on reading through the lines, basically. Like,
which is what you have to do now.
Exactly. So these women running the True Crime podcast, I won't name names, but cool it on the wokeness, ladies, because
it's getting sloppy.
It's getting crazy. I'm here to talk about murder.
Yeah, exactly. We are still in housekeeping. There's a quick video. Richard Rapway, did you hire someone to paint your pants or something?
I was wondering what this is. I thought you were going to do a bit on like Chinese people and like how embarrassing it is to serve America now, but it's just me being fat.
It was just Richard Rapway got his pants painted, it looks like.
This is like toxic chemicals too. Like they're doing bad shit to denim in China.
Yeah.
Isn't denim just like, isn't it supposed to be nothing? Like just
I think
the
it's supposed
fabric?
to be more natural. Yeah.
Well,
okay, moving on. We are still in housekeeping. This is a very good housekeeping. I have a new tip for people who barely reply to texts.
okay.
So if you're talking to somebody and you actually do reply, and you're in a chat, you don't really want to be in anymore, and then someone sends you something like a video or like their script for their movie they wrote or whatever, you can say, oh, cool, thanks for sending. I'll check it out when I get home.
Yeah.
When am I getting home? In an hour? Tonight? Tuesday?
That's a good one.
Ball's back in my court. That's how you regain sovereignty in your life.
All right. So what do you do when they say, hey, did you get a chance to look at that yet?
I just don't reply. I just basically buy myself a day or two, and then when they reply again, I'm just pretty much a bad friend.
I'll just say this. Nobody listening to this podcast should take communication advice from Fleckus. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
He's a lot of unread shit.
I'm a bad communicator, and I'm working on it. Moving on, we're still in housekeeping. There is a new Joe Biden bot out.
Yeah, he doesn't blink very much.
He does not blink, and people are obviously going to say this is a conspiracy theory, and how do I know it's a bot? This is how I know it's a bot. The New York Post released an article saying, ooh, Putin body double at recent meeting, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Vladimir Putin possibly replaced by body double in Iran.
Projecting much?
Yeah.
It's what that means? That means there's a fake Joe Biden going around.
Yep.
And here it is. Here's Joe Biden, the Blinkless 3000. Doesn't blink.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that.
Now, they do have a cut in there. There is one cut. So it's not just straight Joe Biden not blinking, but he doesn't blink in either cut.
Doesn't blink in either cut. And then the Joe Biden bot is claiming that the Democrats are the pro-police ones, and then Trump and his supporters are anti-cop.
It's a gaslighting Joe Biden robot.
Gaslighting. The gaslighting feature has been updated. Yeah. It doesn't blink yet. We need to work on the head shape, but that Joe Biden bot is passing. It looks like it's like a real Joe Biden.
Uncanny Valley. It passes.
It passes. It convinced most people. Most people have not realized that it's a bot. Yes, exactly. So Joe Biden bot is passing. Good news for the Democrats. No one noticed except for us, but we are schizos.
We're just yelling in our right-wing echo chambers.
We're just yelling in the wind here in our right-wing echo chamber. It does not matter.